Good morning, people. So first of all, just want to say thank you so much. I've noticed in the last week or so I've gained about 7 subscribers, so almost 67 subscribers, which is a huge deal for me. When I started this out, I had no clue. Like, I thought I'd probably get like 10 all time, but it's really cool that you guys have joined on. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me on my day. It's going to be a full day of eating, and there will be a training video coming out separate to this one. So what this is, people, it's dark chocolate at the end. I'll do a whole video of how to make this actually. It's really cool. But it's oats, chocolate whey protein powder, berries, and a layer of dark chocolate. But yeah, I'll do a video separately how to make this. My cooking videos don't do that well. I mean, my last one tanked, to be honest, but obviously even if it helps one person, it's more than we need, right? Effectively what this is, I've made myself a sheet as well. So basically what this row here is basically my weigh-ins, and then average weigh-ins and how much the weight is. Only because I've now obviously realised, like, if I can track it this way, then there's no sense of fear in terms of, oh no, I'm getting it wrong or whatever. So here's what we're after. So today, 75.1. By the 17th of September, 76.6. So I've calculated that to be about 0.25 per week. Only reason I've done that is, so basically my weight gain has been kind of inconsistent. I think it probably didn't help the fact that I left the bulk sort of open-ended. And I think that the worst thing we can do as former fat people especially is leave bulks and stuff like that open-ended. With cutting, obviously it's easy in a way where, you know, you just need to eat less. The days you eat more or less or whatever, you can lose faster weight and just watch your performance. I think with bulking you need to make sure, especially people that are naturally sort of built towards getting fat. Yeah, so what I've done is on that sheet, as you can see, I've done a target weight where by that time, chances are, if I obviously make sure I train hard, chances are most of it will be muscle, and then I can assess from there, look at my physique, see if I'm happy with things or where they're going. I've done it in the past. I'm documented as well on my journey how I bulked, I think twice, or tried to bulk 2 to 3 times before in the past, and then every time I've sort of started off well and then just overeaten my way to being fat again. So this is what we're trying to avoid this time, and so far I think I've done a good job. There has been weeks where I haven't been great, but that's what we're trying to nail down now, because obviously I don't want to gain past 80 kilograms, to be honest. I think I'll probably cap this at maybe 78, 79, but again, it depends on my composition, overall my physique composition. But let's see how it goes, because last time I was 78 kilograms, I looked horrible. So don't know what that's going to look like. Obviously, I told you about how it was more the case of me not eating properly, and I sort of fat my way to 78. So maybe I don't think about the weight and I'm just do it in 6 weeks at a time and do the reassessment. So make sure I do the right thing for 6 weeks. That's for me to experiment. Obviously for cutting, it took me years and years to realize how to do it before I sort of nailed it. Same with bulking. I mean, it's been a couple of years I've tried to bulk properly and then I failed, obviously. But I'm sure I'll figure it out. And this time has been the most promising, and I want to stop before anything gets really bad. So for lunch I do tend to have a bigger meal. This gives me a lot of energy when I'm actually training. I think eating a lot more towards the evening for me just doesn't really work that well. Try it. I mean, most of my calories are coming through to lunch. As you can see, I've got some cheese in there. The potato recipe, if you haven't seen it, most people haven't. It's got like 40 views, I think. Check it out if you can. The potatoes, smashed potato recipe, awesome. And then air fried chicken and the veg as well. It's got the complete sort of everything you need really. Veg, fats, carbs, and a high amount of protein. And hopefully, this is what I've always had for like the last couple of years. Some form of this sort of setup, and it's been great. It's been for energy production in the gym. And like I say, if I have food, this kind of food later on in the evening, you'll see my meals later anyway, but if I have that kind of food later on in the evening, for me it's a bit of a sticky one, because I feel stuffed, bloated, I'm sleeping as well, and then I wake up in the morning, I feel shit. It's 12:30 PM anyway, so high time we get into the food. This kicks ass, by the way. Bolero. So basically what this is like, I saw these guys at the
Arnold lifting convention thingy, the Arnold Sports event. Basically, they were just selling these hydration powders, but I don't really care about the hydration factor because salt water is cool enough. But I just like to mix it sometimes with some water and creatine, and it's just an easier way to get creatine because I like getting the unflavoured version. Then you can just change the flavours around with the Bolero. So this is actually a great buy if you are looking for something that's tastes good and practically it's got 0 sugar. I think the calories are something stupid like 3 calories.
Right, so with my pre-workout meal, basically I keep it quite similar to my breakfast meal, only because I know it works. Right, so it gives me good energy when I'm training. I've had it for years. The only thing I will probably change is instead of sometimes having like the chocolate that I'm having now, the dark chocolate, I'd have maybe peanut butter instead. But apart from that, nothing much changes. When I'm cutting, however, I do more opt for the peanut butter. The one I use, there it is. It's the one from Aldi. That's the one I use basically. But the thing is, right, when I'm cutting, the reason I use this instead of chocolate when I'm cutting is because I can reduce the amounts if I need. So only if I need it for a bit of flavour, I'd have like 5 grams or 10 grams. Other than that, I'll have like 30 grams when I'm bulking. I've got a bit more room. But yeah, this for me right now works, protein powder wise. If I'm making it warm, which I am, I'm going to put it in the freezer or fridge to cool it off. This is what I would use, the Raw Sport one. I made a video about this recently as well. Obviously almond milk, that is from Aldi. Yeah, that's the Aldi one. Obviously, and oats wise, I only ever have Quaker oats. Not sponsored. Yeah, I only have Quaker oats because I've tried loads of them, man. I've tried like the Scots ones, I've tried Flavor Hands or whatever, I'm probably butchering it, Aldi Lidl, all of them. But for some reason, they just don't taste right. With normal other things, I can substitute it because I don't want to be married to like a brand. It stresses me out when people sort of only buy one brand. But unfortunately with Quaker oats, it's just the way it is. But yeah, I'll show you when it's done. Right, so at this point now, there's about an hour left before we train. Now, in regards to pre-workout, while I'm having my pre-workout, I do think it's a good idea to look at your training program as well. So I log my stuff on an app. I use an app called Strive, I think, because it's free and it was open source. So on there, I've got my program there. I sort of, not study it exactly, but just see what I'm going to do. Any changes that need to be made, because obviously the weight you reached last week or the week before, if you need to go up, you plug it all in there. The worst thing you can do is basically where you go into the gym and you start checking there and then. You want to go basically with a clear focus of what you want to achieve in the gym. So when you get in there, you can just execute. Yeah, the post-workout meal has plenty of fats in there. I do suggest try keep the fat slightly on the higher end when you're having your post-workout meals, especially if you're someone that struggles with craving. It's obviously more satiating and it's highly palatable. So yeah, eggs aren't bad obviously either. And I've just got a bit of cheese like I did earlier. But the reason you want highly palatable foods, in moderation obviously, so all the foods that I'm eating today, the later meal as well and this one, it's all pre-planned anyway. So it's within the calories. But for me, what has helped, if you guys haven't seen my video about sort of bulking for ex-fat people, so former fat people, what this does is so having eggs, cheese, and later on I'll show you something else as well. Like it keeps it under control. Where basically, if I was to go super clean in the evening after a hard session, I would want to grab some other food as well. So this way, it basically scratches that itch. And again, as long as it's in your plan, you'll be fine. And it stops me from reaching for cake bars and sweet things or like chips and things like that. So yeah, good for sanity, all pre-planned as well. And there's one more meal left, and we'll go attack that shortly.